Hey, what's going on guys? It's me, Aiden from Cartoon Apocalypse, and today I'm here with the last video of these 4 new episodes that we got today of Star Versus. Now, if you weren't aware that there were new episodes, then there are new episodes. There you go, you're aware. Go watch them before watching this video, because there will be spoilers in this video. So, yeah. If you have not seen my 3 previous videos, I recommend going to watch those, because those talk about some good info, and those are out now, so you can go watch them. But if you were to only watch one, I would recommend watching the swimsuit episode analysis, because that one was the episode with the most stuff in it, so you will gain a lot of information from watching that video, I think. But today I'm going to be talking about Lake House Fever. Now this episode was purely just a shipping based episode. It didn't have almost anything revolving around the actual plot, it was more of just talking about Star and Tom's relationship. So I've made a list of bullet points and I'll be going off of those just to talk about the episode. I'm not going to be talking about like the general stuff. It's more of just going to be the stuff that is more important through this episode. And that's more because I had to make 4 videos today, and if I just talked about everything, it would have been such a long day for me, and I didn't want that. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this episode. So to start off, Tom's mother is disliking or more of concerned about Star. And we later learn this because she's afraid that Star is going to end up breaking up with Tom again, and that's learned obviously later in the episode. But just more of this first half is Star coming to the realization that Tom's mother has an issue of some kind, and it is ending up to be around Star. And I am just kind of skipping over like most of the episode up until, the photo album, and I will be talking about that just, right now. But again, I'm skipping ahead just simply because you can gather a lot of information just from watching the episode. I'm going to be diving deeper into the stuff that I want to talk about that's more important. So basically everybody's going through this photo album and they get to the Star and Tom section. And some of these photos are actually in the Book of Spells, so that's a little cool cameo type thing there. We have seen some of these photos before they made it into the show, so whoa, that's cool. But basically, we can see Tom here, and he's not looking too happy, and that's because he's starting to realize, or at least I think, he's starting to realize that Star didn't actually notice Tom as much, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. When Star says, "Oh look, that's the photo where I got my horns," it wasn't, "Oh hey look, that's the photo where you gave me my horns," it was when Star got her horns. There's a difference there, and Tom is like, well, that's kind of a big indication. I got those horns for you. You wear them like every day. Like, you could have at least acknowledged that I got them for you. And we see that in this next section too, where Star's like, "Oh, you went to my going away party? I didn't even notice." And Tom's being like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And then next, Tom built this carriage, which is extremely cool by the way, but he built it and Star didn't even notice. And Tom was like, "Yeah, that took a while to build." And Star was like, "Wow, you built that?" And then Tom kind of was sad because it didn't exactly go according to his plan. And then because of this, Tom's mother goes running out of the room. So we can tell that Tom is just a little bit sad over this. And well, really everybody's kind of just sad. It's not a really happy time right now, especially since Star just kind of was almost ignoring him. It wasn't ignoring him. It was just kind of taking him for granted. And we also saw this in season 3. Specifically in the episode Is Another Mystery, where we can see Tom countless times just kind of being sad that Star isn't really paying attention to him. He's just kind of taking him for granted again. And I believe that that is why this is kind of taking that path. So Star and Tom talk, and Star learns that Tom knows about the kiss. He doesn't know about the photo that Star has, so if you have that on your bingo card, you can't check it off yet. But Star actually starts to get mad at Tom, and this is really funny because it wasn't Tom's fault. Tom should be the one who's mad, and it really shows how much Tom has grown as a person to show that he has rationalized it. He was like, "Oh, yeah, well, okay, it's understandable. Marco thought that he had to do this to get out of the photo booth. That's okay. It wasn't really anything against Tom. It wasn't, if he didn't have to, he wouldn't have." So Tom just thought about it rationally, and he really matured to not get angry. But Star is mad that Tom knows and Tom didn't tell her that he knows, when Tom should have been mad that Star didn't mention it. And that's just really funny how Star is just kind of acting like this. And then after this kind of fight, I'm not going to call it a fight. So again, if you have that bingo card, I wouldn't consider it a fight. But Star says that she has to leave. And Star just can't handle it right now. I don't know what's going on with Star, but like she is acting really immature and childish in this little scene. It's weird. We haven't seen much of Star like this. It's more of Star's been the mature one, but when it comes to this, Star's just the immature one, it looks like. So then they have a little bit of conflict and Star ends up saving Tom, and then that kind of makes me believe that everything just sort of goes back to normal. So to me, it seems like that they were really close to breaking up, except for that very last save that I think that kind of just erased everything before. So I think that's where we're at right now. But with that being said, Tom is constantly getting this feeling of Star's just kind of taking him for granted. He's ignoring her. She's more focused on Marco than she is with Tom. And that makes me believe that if they break up, if they do, I think that Tom is going to be the one who does it. I think Tom's going to be like, hey, look, this isn't working. You obviously are focused more with Marco than me. I'm just kind of there in the background, like a side character. But basically, I think that Tom is going to be the one who breaks up with Star if the time comes. And I'm saying if because I'm not really on a side here. I want to stay pretty neutral. So then at the end of the episode, we learn that Tom's mother was the cause of this giant storm. And the storms are kind of tied to her emotions. So when she sees that Tom and Star are okay and that Star saved Tom, she gets happy again, and that's why the storm disappears. And the storm appeared in the first place because Tom's mom was sad that Star is leaving to go with Marco. This is again showing how Star is leaving Tom for Marco. So right now it seems, to Tom at least, Marco is above him on Star's importance level. So that's just, I feel like that's going to get to him eventually, and he's just going to be like, alright, you know what, this needs to end, I'm done with this. So I think that that's going to be interesting if it happens. But really, that's it for this episode. I just kind of wanted to talk about just this whole shipping aspect and Tom's view on this whole thing, and how Star's just kind of been neglecting him and things like that. So that's kind of my opinion on this episode, and it was an interesting episode. Not really anything too plot related, it was more shipping related, but I enjoy those episodes anyway, so it was fine for me. But I think that's going to be it. I'll see you guys tomorrow if you watch Miraculous, but other than that, probably in a couple days. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
And you didn't say anything?